My name's Chris Burns. April 2007, my mom was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. It's a rare lung disease that basically turns your lungs into scar tissue. It wasn't long before she was on a respirator, breathing machine, and eventually passed away on April 22nd, 2007. I met Christy about a month before that.
My name is Christy Johnson, soon to be Burns. Had a great first date, and then 4 days later, that's when his mom passed away. Invited Chris, several times to come to church with me, and he was, oh, one day I'll go, not today, not tomorrow.
Eventually, when the pain of losing my mom became too much, there was one Sunday where I was like, you know what, yeah, let's go. I really like this girl, and let's see what this church is all about. And I was blown away. I had such a great time. It was the first time I had ever been to a church where I didn't feel like it was forced, and I didn't feel like they wanted my money. I felt like it was just genuine.
God spoke to him through Isaac's words, and he fell in love with Summit just as much as I have.
The closer I got to Christ and the more I was going to church with Christy, the less the pain of losing my mom, the pain of losing my mom would disappear. It wasn't long after we had attended some partnership meetings and whatnot that we heard about the Africa trip, and Christy mentioned it to me. She was like, I really want to go to Africa. And I just thought it was amazing. I was like, wow, okay, it was her idea. She wanted to go. Getting over there was just the most humbling, depressing, inspiring experience I've ever had in my life. You'd see these children that weren't sponsored, and they had no shoes, and their clothes were tattered, and they were starving. These children are poor. And they have these huge smiles on their face, and you're like, how? To see what the sponsorship does, it was like, it just brought it all home. We
decided that we definitely wanted to sponsor a child.
Jack was one of the children that Christy really, Jackson, Christy really was attached to. One
of the children was Jack. But luckily he already had a sponsor. So we decided to choose another child in the Gilbert family. I saw that they had had a brand new baby. She was 4 weeks old. At the time, she didn't have a name, actually. She was nameless, and we kept asking what her name was so that we could call her by her name, and they explained to us that they don't name the children for a few months because of the high death rates.
Pike then told us if we were able to sponsor her, we may be able to name her, and we were completely blown away by that.
We kind of looked up at each other, and we both knew what we wanted to name her, and we wanted to name her after Chris's mom, Kathleen.
It's like, let's name this after your mom, and I was like, I lost it. And to come full circle like this, and then to see the woman that brought me close to Jesus and brought me to Africa, there she is holding this child, and she's named after my mom. And Christy never got to meet my mom, and I felt like this was as close as it was going to get.
It definitely brought us closer to God, because had he not been such a big part of our life, none of this would have happened. We would have never been able to go to Africa in the first place, much less meet an amazing baby girl halfway across the world that we could be part of her life.
This little girl isn't going to know what it's like to not be sponsored. And to be able to share that with the woman that I want to spend the rest of my life with, and the woman that was my rock during the hardest time in my life, and the woman that brought me so close to Jesus, I can't really put that into words.